Well, hello everybody. Adam Z coming at you once again. Hey, it's kind of a real crappy day out. Don't really feel like doing much, and I was thinking of something to do, and I thought that this might be a little bit fun. I've been watching Survivor Man, the Les Stroud director's commentaries, and about all his old shows and stuff like that. And I thought it'd be really fun to maybe do something like that with one of my first videos that I ever put on YouTube, which is a hiking trip that Donnie and I did. We usually refer to it as the Hell Trip. It was our first ever backpacking experience on the Pinchot Trail. And I thought I'd just, let's show it again. Do a little bit of director's commentary. I would love for Donnie to have been here to see this. As you can see, it is like a lazy day. Maddie's sleeping here on the couch with us. So with that said, let's go and watch one of these videos and relive, see how far along we've come. I'm kind of excited about this. This is going to be something different. All right, let me go and let's hit the play button here.
Unfortunately, yesterday I didn't take much video. None at all that I think of, except for the campsite.
Pinchot Trail, Lackawanna State Forest, Southern Loop. This is the first
we didn't know what we were in
real backpacking trip that Donnie and I went on.
Pinchot Trail. We just left the trailhead. Pretty difficult right now, walking down pavement.
Let's stop right there. Back then, I think the camera I was using was a Nikon Coolpix. I think it was like an AW120 or something like that, which was their so-called like action camera, waterproof camera and stuff like that. And there is absolutely no video stabilization at all in this camera. But we started this trip and we got like just under 10 miles. I think it was like 8 miles in or something like that. And I don't know why, but we did not take any video for the first leg of the trip. I don't recall why. I remember coming across a few people and stuff like that. It's probably because we really didn't know what we were getting into. The time that we took this trip, it was the middle of summer of 2015, I believe. And from what I remember is that it was really freaking hot. We didn't know what we were doing, but hey, you're learning. So where this clip starts here, you saw us walking down the road. Where this clip starts here, we're already like 8 miles into the trail. We're over halfway through the day, and this is one of the bigger campsites here that we were able to come across. But you'll see farther in. Let's keep going.
We're about 8.8 miles in. We're at the first campsite.
This is Choke Creek. This was before the waterfalls were opened, so the trail went farther north.
11.3 miles we did today, and we are whooped.
There you go. We didn't take any video for the first part of this trip. It's quite funny, actually. I think it is. It's I honestly don't remember. I remember our feet hurting us, and my pack. I had a Kelty pack. It was like an 80-liter pack or something like that, and I made the mistake of, I have empty space in the pack. Let's fill it up. I believe my pack weighed somewhere like around like 50 pounds, maybe 55 pounds. I brought like, I don't know, 3 or 4 headlamps, a flashlight, a radio, extra batteries, and we were doing a one-nighter. So we were over-prepared to say the least. And this is back when I had my Hennessy hammock. I forget what the hammock that Donnie had, but he had his Sierra Madre tarp at the time that weighed like almost 5 pounds by itself.
Don't want to move. We passed off 3 excellent campsites because we wanted to get to 10 miles. And then, what happened?
We ended up doing another 1.3 miles just to get to a campsite because the rest in front of it were crap.
There you have it. What's the lesson to be learned here?
When you find a good one, stick with it. Oh boy.
All right, at this point, like I said, I had a Kelty pack that I had like 80 liters on it. I don't even think Donnie had a pack. I had a Bear Grylls pack that I bought from Walmart. I think I paid like $30 for it or something like that, and he's using that pack there. I remember we did have the goal to hike 10 miles, and when we came to the first set of campsites was like 9 miles, and we're like, let's do that extra mile. And it's funny how we talk about how doing an extra 1.3 miles, nowadays that's nothing. But back then, when we were first starting, we were hurting. Let me tell you this, even though I'm still overweight now, but at this time, I was extremely overweight. I was pushing over 250 pounds. And so carrying all that and not ever hiking again was definitely something... Yeah, we learned. We definitely learned.
Needless to say, it was a good uphill jaunt from those ones also.
Yeah.
So, actually, it was longer than 1.3 miles because that one was at 9.6, so it was 1.6 miles. Remember where I crossed the little creek and...
Yeah.
I think that was 9.6 miles. I don't know. Who knows? We don't know. But I just went and filtered some water.
You know, how about let's make this a challenge. Everyone that's a hiking YouTuber, bring up your old first video. Let's do these director commentaries. I'm having a blast doing this, even though we're 2.5 minutes into this video already. But yeah. Kurt Z, come on, let's do it. Chryzacone, let's just see your old first videos and see how we've progressed over the years. This could turn out pretty fun.
If you look, it looks yummy. See it? Nice and yellow. That's all we could find. So, why not take yellow water and make brown tea? Let's take a look. Yep, there it is. See, nice and brown. Gonna let that boil up. I did run it through the filter. Sawyer Mini. So, we'll see how it goes. We're making chicken teriyaki or chicken fried rice or something like that.
I can smell teriyaki, so I think there's teriyaki in it.
We got our little miniature fire going because we didn't want to have anything too big. We didn't want to catch on fire while we're sleeping. Donnie got a whole bunch of firewood.
Just enough to put a little smoke up to keep the bugs away.
Oh well. I mean, it's still bright.
This campsite that we were at, if you've hiked the southern loop of the Pinchot Trail, you know exactly where it is. It's on the southern loop, right below, I think, Tannery Road. There's a big pine tree right alongside the trail and a little tiny campsite right next to it. That was the campsite that we ended up stopping at. And to say the least, if you've ever hiked through that area, you know that it's all swamps around that tree. So from what I remember, the mosquitoes were ferocious. It was a good thing that we had a bug net. And Donnie actually didn't have a bug net. He had a homemade bug net that he made out of see-through window shear. I guess it worked pretty well for the time being, but yeah. it worked. It worked pretty well. But it was kind of, I don't know, overkill or whatever. But you know what? He probably still has it if you ask him. He probably still has it.
Right out, but we're underneath the pine tree, so it seems darker than it really is. But I think as soon as we eat here,
It's only 8 o'clock.
yeah, we'll probably be passing out here shortly. All right,
All right, the following day after our night is when I actually took the majority of our video. Like I said, I can't remember the reason why I didn't take any more video on the first day. I honestly don't remember, but I did take a lot more video walking out, which I have to apologize. It's very shaky. I was kind of jumbling my words because it's the first time we ever did something like this, and I didn't understand what was actually going on. But it was an experience, to say the least.
a beautiful night, being rested up. We're now on the trail again. It's the Pinchot Trail in the Lackawanna State Forest. We have approximately 3 miles left to the car. We did 11.3 yesterday. It was quite interesting. Like I said last night, lesson to be learned: if you come across a good campsite and you're near your mileage, stick with it. Don't try to say the next one's going to be better, because as we found out last night, it wasn't the case. We ended up not being anywhere near water, so after we set up camp, we had to hike, 300 yards or so back to a water source that kind of resembled.
I had to hike 300 yards to a water source. Geez, people on the Appalachian Trail would probably love that they'd only have to hike 300 yards to a water source. But it was it was a swamp we were in, so it was like swamp water that we got. And Donnie, I think, makes the comment that it tasted like crawfish soup. Oh, man. Yeah, this is funny.
Kind of resembled piss in the bottle, even after filtered. So luckily I still had a bottle of clean water that I'm using for a hike out, and use the other stuff to cook with. So that way it was filtered with the Sawyer Mini.
I actually generally still do that on my hiking trips. If I'm only doing like an overnighter and I have to get water from a water source and I have 2 bottles of water, just happen to have 2 bottles of water, I will keep 1 bottle of clean water and use the other bottle that I filtered for my cooking and everything like that. I know it doesn't make a difference, but it just makes me feel better in general if I'm just doing a quick overnight. Obviously, you can't do that on a multi-day trip. But that is something that I still sometimes actually do.
It seemed like it worked fine. And then boiled when, obviously making food. We made some Mrs. Grass soup and chicken fried rice or something like that. Oh, not a Mountain House. This was stuff from my local grocery store, and Mountain House is $8 a bag. A Mountain House is $8 a bag, and this stuff was $1.35, and it was pretty good. What do you think, Don? Was it good?
Yeah, fantastic actually.
A lot better than I anticipated it to be.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we're gonna do from now on. All right, we're still walking down the dirt road. Probably got another mile on this.
The program that I used to edit this video, I believe was like some early version of Sony Movie Studio, and from what I remember is it was a complete pain to do these edits, especially if you wanted to do like a clip within a clip, because you had to rip that clip out. You had to edit it, then you had to render it, save it to disk, and then re-upload it into the program to stick in there. I just remember it being a real pain. And now with I just use iMovie on my MacBook here, and it's a breeze. So I'll tell you what, if you want to do video editing, I hear Premiere is really good, but like iMovie on the Mac is just so easy to use anymore.
Dirt road, and then I'm gonna say a half a mile down the paved road back to the car. But as you can see here, Donnie's in pain.
We're in some pain.
Donnie's in pain. Tell him what's wrong.
I just sent this clip to Donnie yesterday, and we were hysterical laughing. It was one of those things, I saw something on YouTube, and I suggested it to him, and he didn't do it, and now you're going to see what happened.
Tell him what's wrong.
My ass is chafed. Raw.
He's almost waddling like a duck right now.
We're raw. Such is life, I guess.
I recommended him the Dry Star underwear, which is what I'm wearing, and I usually get chafed real bad. And I'm fine, surprisingly. I thought my nut would be freaking bad, but no, we're pretty good. Just like wool socks. I don't know. I'm a completely amateur hiker, and I saw on YouTube that wear wool hiking socks. I never did before, blah blah blah. They're expensive. So finally, we were doing some hiking in the Delaware Water Gap.
Back at this time, I was, this was 7-8 years ago, and I was probably watching back then a lot of Syntax, Outdoor Adventures, which he was just starting out himself, and a couple other of I actually don't remember. I remember subscribing to a whole bunch of hiking videos of people that originally started out. I remember Ian Oswald was another one. A lot of the guys I used to watch when I first started watching and paying attention to YouTube are no longer around anymore. Obviously, they're probably around, but they just don't make YouTube videos. I know a lot of them dropped off after the algorithm changed, and now you could actually see in my channel, when I first started my channel, is my views were up. The algorithm changed, and it dropped right off because they only wanted the popular people to get views. That's what it seems anyway. So that's how it is. That's just a quick rant, I guess you could say.
Well, on the Appalachian Trail, we did Coppermine Trail, Hornbeck Trail. We did a few of them out there. Me and my girlfriend. And
I said my girlfriend. I guess I could say my wife.
I bought the wool hiking socks. Like I said, they're expensive. They're like $15 a pair. But I could not believe the difference between wool and a cotton sock. It was like, usually my feet would be kind of rubbed raw, and nothing like that. Much more cushioning. If you're starting out, I highly recommend going out and buying regular hiking.
I'm complaining about buying $15 pairs of socks. Now it's nothing for me to spend, $15, $20, $30 on a pair of socks, just because of how well they work in a hiking environment. Even an everyday environment, I wear those kind of socks every day. But it's funny, once you start paying that much for socks, you know where every one of those socks is when you wear it, when you take it off, when you throw it in the washer, when you put it in the dryer and it comes back out. You know where those socks are. You pay attention. Unless the dog steals one.
Socks. Yes, they're expensive, but they're going to save you some foot rot.
And I can't stress this enough also, is if you're summer hiking and you want to wear shoes, it doesn't matter whether you're wearing high tops or just trail runners. I can't stress it enough to don't buy waterproof shoes for summertime. That's the worst thing you could do. I mean, they have their time and place. Winter time, I guess in mud season and stuff like that. But the thing is, when you have waterproof shoes in the summertime, your feet get sweaty. It stays in the shoe. It doesn't dissipate. My Ultras now, I could walk through a stream and within a mile they're dry again. It's just how they're designed nowadays. Footwear has come a long ways, even from the time that I shot this first video here.
We're just trudging along. We're ready to go home. It was a long day yesterday. Got a few miles today. We're just waiting. I wonder if they come and move those rocks for the snowmobile trails, or if they keep them blocked all year round.
Probably keep them blocked.
I would think so. They want you to go through the gates and shit, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, one other thing too. Flip this around. I finally adjusted the straps up on my backpack, and it feels 100 times better. Something I should have did when we first started yesterday, but I didn't. Right now I can feel full contact.
Don't take this advice. I had no idea what the hell I was talking about with adjusting backpacks on this trip. And as you can see, I was carrying my Garmin, that's an Garmin Oregon 450, just a regular plain old GPS. I used to use it for geocaching a lot. I still have it. It's sitting right there on the wall, right next to my InReach. So don't think that that was an InReach back then. I don't even know if they had them back then. I think they only just came out with them not that long. They probably had them, but they were too expensive to have, in my opinion.
With the internal frame to my back. Yesterday I was only feeling it in my shoulders and the small of my back. You live and you learn, I guess. I would have saved myself a lot of grief yesterday if I had done this sooner. Unfortunately, yesterday I didn't take much video. None at all that I think of, except for the campsite or something like that. Because we didn't know what we were in for. So it was tough for our first backpacking experience, doing 11.3 miles day one, and now we're doing, it looks like it's gonna be 4 miles day two. It's been an experience. I learned a few things I should do.
That'd be good.
Yeah. So. Oh well.
That's just like.
Yep. Just gonna deal with it and go on. We ran into a few people yesterday. Ran into a guy and his dog. Ran into a family. Well, no, the first people we ran into was a guy, and he had 2 kids with them. The one son, he looked like he was maybe 10.
He was 5.
And the youngest one was 5.
She was a girl.
Oh, the girl. Yeah, sorry. The girl, I'm going to say she was like 10 or 11. And the little boy, he was 5. And they did the whole trail, 26 miles. They started Wednesday night, he said. And they were finishing up yesterday. That's pretty brave, taking, 2 kids out on a 26-mile hike. Obviously he knew what he was doing. He's done it before, unlike us. So, oh man. And then we ran into a guy and his dog. The dog was afraid of us. He went around us. Then we ran into a family. There was a mother and a father. What would you say, 5 kids with them?
There's a whole shit.
There was a slew of them. And they were headed down when we were heading up. So, and then there was one guy by himself that I don't know. I don't know what to say about him. And then there's another guy that kind of snuck up on us. We didn't even hear him until he was at the campsite. I said, hi. And we were like, hi. So, he had a little dog with him.
Beagle.
Was it a beagle?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a little dog with him. And, yeah. And that was it. I was passed out. As soon as it got dark, I went in the hammock. And I think I was out within 3 minutes. Donnie said he was yelling for me, and I didn't hear nothing.
That's the end of the video. Now it's just a picture montage with some music by Pedro. Music by Pedro. He was real popular back then. He was, I think, one of the, no, I wouldn't say one of the first, but one of the more popular music people, royalty-free music people back then. So, alright, I'm gonna shut this off now. Well, hey guys, man, I had a blast doing this. Like I said, let's make this a challenge. Come on, guys. Set up a camera, watch one of your old videos, and let's just do a director's commentary on this. It's something. Brought back a lot of memories. And I had the old Hennessy hammock expedition, ASIM zip. Donnie had his new bay, and I don't even remember what kind of hammock he actually had. I think it was just some cheap parachute hammock. But he had the new bay tarp, and the tarp weighed more than, like, I think it was like almost a 5-pound tarp. But it was really fun. So, hey, with that said, Maddie is still sleeping. She has not moved a bit. So, with that said, hey, please like, comment, subscribe, and we're going to do this again. I'm going to pick out some other videos and we're going to go through them. So, all right, guys, out.